Good morning, you little fuckers, and welcome to the Four Seasons podcast.
Good, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Vato,
We're just
Mike,
rolling with
Nick.
it.
Good morning.
Grand
How
Rising,
y'all
everybody.
doing?
Good morning.
Today we have a couple of special guests. I'll say I'll start from my left, but technically everybody's all over the place. So, Alex Masters, Audrey, Jess, welcome to Four Seasons.
Hell yeah.
Welcome in, everybody.
Welcome,
Yes.
welcome.
Today's little discussion is going to be about long distance relationships. We have a couple here that are doing long distance. Oh, we actually have two couples in here doing long distance relationship, and we have Alex Masters with some experience that has to do with that as well. So we'll start with Mike, Nick, and Vato. You guys have any questions first of all, or should we just throw it to Mike?
Why you gotta throw it to me first?
You know,
I don't know. Running a little late got me completely off fucking track. Like completely off track. Like I set my alarm for 6:40, and I got up and I fucking brushed my teeth and I washed my face and I combed my beard, and then I was just sitting there like, all right, got about 5 minutes to spare, and then had everything ready.
If that sums up a long distance relationship right there, we're done.
yeah.
That almost sums up my part anyway. That almost
Yeah.
sums up my part. No. Um I do have experience with it. I've done it a couple of times. Um I think it works. It can work, but both people have to be on the same page with it, because if you're not, then it's not even worth anybody's time. That's what I got to say right now. So I'll move along and let somebody else talk.
Long distance relationships it's not for the weak. It's you have to be strong willed both mentally and physically, because there's a lot of factors that go into that type of relationship. Communication is obviously going to be on par. It has to be on par, um, because you're lacking that physical connection, especially the time that you guys are apart. So a lot of people who fail in those type of relationships, long distance relationships, who don't do well in long distance relationships, they find themselves struggling because they lack that intimacy. So I don't know. I think as long as you guys are on par with the communication, then when you're apart, it just makes the physical interactions a lot better when you guys do come together. So that's my part on that. Obviously, we're gonna talk a little bit more and get more in depth about it. So
You know what? That part you just said right there, like when you are apart, like the physical connection is better when you are together.
yeah.
So I put out like a little poll just to see if I could get, like, just everybody's opinion. And somebody said that almost to the exact fucking T.
Yeah, I got the same answers.
You sure it wasn't me responding to your?
No, you said no.
She
I,
said,
I got
"What?
about the
I would
same
never do that."
answers.
I have a long distance relationship with food.
Oh?
Anytime I'm around it, I gotta eat it. So
The only the
Bro, but you're
the
around
only
food all the time. That's not the same thing.
yeah.
You live in the damn kitchen.
I
The
have to,
longest
bro.
the longest distance I got between food is where however long my fucking arm is. So that's the longest distance I've got with food.
Shit, knowing how long your arms are, that's a long ass distance. So
So I put up and I know that Alex and the ladies here are gonna give us a different perspective on this, but I put up this thing on questions on Insta. One guy said no. A girl said no because of trust issues. Been there, done that with a sad face. And then somebody I know put, I could not. The distance creates too much space between the hearts.
Hmm.
And I know she listens to this podcast. So, ladies, how do you feel about what she said?
I think the distance between the hearts depends on your communication.
Also, depending on
Okay.
your partner too, because if they're not on the same page, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Okay. Alex?
See that was interesting because a lot of women, I'm not saying all women, but a lot of women do think more with their feelings. They think more with their heart than they do on a logical basis. So that's why I asked, how do you ladies feel? Because you might be different than the average lady. You might be a logical thinker, but most women think more with their heart than they do with their logical thinking. So to me, when I hear that comment, it's because us guys, we're thinking logically. Like we're looking at like what's the future going to look like with this person, because we're far away from them right now. But like in the future, we might change that. So we're thinking logic. We're thinking like, what do we have to do? What are the next steps? What kind of house do we have to own? You know, how are we going to extend everything into our lives? Because men are like
Yeah.
that. We're thinking logically. We're thinking strategy. And I'm not saying all men, because I know there's some dumbass men out there, right? But for the most part, that's how when we're in our masculine, we're thinking logically. That's when we think the best. So that's why I asked that question to the ladies. Alex, how do you feel about that? About what she said? Thinking with the heart.
Well, I mean, I agree with Jess. The whole distance is between the hearts is definitely dependent on how strong the communication is. Obviously, other factors are going to play into it, like trust and um, just like willingness to hear out what your person has to say. But communication, especially like with this whole topic, is everything.
Mhm.
Um, that physical need for your person, right, is not going to be as involved, obviously, due to the fact that they're not close by. It doesn't matter how far that person is, right? Um, so being able to communicate with your person, every night, every day, depending, on work schedules and all that stuff, is just number one key. It's what's gonna help make sure that that bond between the two people are gonna stay together. And like Mike said, uh, that physical connectivity between two people is gonna be that much stronger when you do finally see each other.
Mhm.
So one answer I got repetitively was jealousy. Jealousy was the number one answer that I got on from everybody.
Really?
Jealousy.
I mean, all relationships have jealousy.
Mm.
It's it's when you take it too far. Always assuming that your person's out partying and talking to other people. It,
Assumptions.
exactly, assumptions. And
Again, all of that goes back to communication. If you give me like, hey, I'm going to be here if I don't message, this is why. Okay. But it's all communication. Communication
yeah,
fixes 98% of problems.
Yeah.
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah, you're right. You're right with that because it doesn't matter if that's what the person does. Like if they go out and hang out with their friends or whatever, go out, have beers, have drinks, whatever the case is. But it's just the fact of telling your person, like, hey, like she said, this is where I'm gonna be. This is what I'm gonna be doing.
Yeah.
You don't it's better to tell them that way than for them to be like scrolling
Assuming.
through somewhere and then see your ass somewhere and
Yup.
you were thinking you had no clue. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like being blindsided. So yeah,
Or they
yeah.
or they tell you that they're going one place and they're actually somewhere else.
Dude, I've had that happen. I've had that happen a bunch of times. Like,
Yep.
and like, I know everything, dude. People think I don't know shit, but I know fucking
I got
everything.
ways to find out. Let me just log into my military computer over here and just
All right. Oh.
access this satellite that
But we
only.
have another one that knows people.
I Fuck,
She knows
I guess I
someone for
am
everything.
I guess
Audrey,
I
all I
am a
gotta say is
military computer.
watch out.
She even has a
Mike
corrido after her name.
Mike can do some shit. And that's all I gotta say. No,
I
but see, like in the relationships that I've been in, like especially long distance, I've asked for two things from my partner if they decide to go out. I'm not one to be like, hey, you have to be texting me all night, send me your location. No, I'm not like that. I tell them, let me know when you get there and let me know when you get home.
Hmm.
That's it.
Yep.
I just want to make sure that you're safe. And unfortunately, the last relationship I was in refused to do that. And
Because
that was a
because we are men, and it is our nature is to protect.
exactly, and that's exactly what I told her. I'm like, I'm not doing this to invade your privacy or bombard you with text messages and stuff. Like, no, I told you, you don't have to text me throughout the night. Enjoy the night. Just be safe. Let me know when you get there. Let me know when you're on your way home. Because I told her, I'm like, put yourself in my shoes. I'm not there close enough to be able to go pick you up if you need me or
Yeah,
whatever. So I'm tossing and turning in bed, thinking like, oh fuck, I hope she gets there okay. I hope she gets back. So I just asked for those two things. Let me know, and I'll sleep soundly and not worry
yeah,
about it. Now, I told her, I'm like, if you fuck up while you're out there, that's on you, and I'm not gonna. That's it. Those are the only two things I ever asked of her, of anybody.
I think
I mean, ultimately, if somebody's gonna mess up, they're gonna mess up regardless.
Exactly.
It's not a well, I guess sometimes it can be a distance thing because it happened to me like that before.
Mhm.
So, um, and it was only a 4 hour distance. You know what I mean?
Well,
She was going to school in San Diego, and I guess that was too much. That was too far.
Wow.
Hmm.
So to everybody in here that is in a long distance relationship, was in a long distance relationship, what are some of the some of the daily things that you would say you would do to keep that connection going?
Communicate.
Well,
communication
Hmm.
and the courtesy of letting them know what I'm doing, what I have going on. Not every step I make, but like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm doing this or that. Just the little things without them having to ask, to
The
kind of give them
courtesy.
reassurance without having a
okay.
doubt.
Yeah.
Maybe it would be morning text like, good morning, how'd you sleep? Did you get your coffee? Every morning. And then I would let them know, I just got to work. Hope you have a great day. And then again during lunch, like, hey, do you need food? Are you hungry? Are you going to eat? Whatever the case may be.
Since you said that, Alex, you're expecting a text from her every morning. If she doesn't text you one morning, would you reciprocate and text her back and say good morning?
I still would do it, but it'd be more of like, okay, I'm on my way to work. Good morning. Bye. I wouldn't say anything mean or anything like that, but like, you don't answer my text back or you don't send anything back to me. Like, reciprocation is key. Like, a lot of people get, when they're in a relationship, long distance or not, like, they get complacent after a while, and complacency kills relationships. Um,
Yeah.
you have to be willing to make it
Forgive.
fun every single day, explore, try new shit with your person, and just continue to keep that spark. You know, if you
Yeah.
get so used to doing the same thing over and over, with your person, then again, that's what leads to complacency, and then eventually one or the other or even both might just, and that's where it leads to cheating and going back to your stages of life where you just wanted to party and drink all the time, and that's what kills relationships. That is probably number one.
Oh, what's up, dude?
Did I just see a little hand?
Yeah, right there. Like,
Did.
hey,
Dude, oh my
All
welcome to
that
Four
hair.
Seasons, little Simba.
What's your take on this?
Yeah, that fool woke up. So to add to Mosca's question. So say for instance, did you were you the one that would send them good morning text every single morning, or did it kind of go back and forth? Like if you were running a little late or something like that, did she text you good morning around that same time, or was it
You asking me or
just
Mosca?
You.
no, I meant you.
Oh, me? It
Yeah.
would be it'd be dependent. It would always happen either or, but she was always on a set schedule for work, and I'm not. There's days where
Oh,
I'm
okay.
up at 5 o'clock before the sun is even up, and I have to go to base.
Right,
So
right.
I would text her, and then she would reply that, on days like that. Other days, she'd be up before me, so then she would send me the text first.
Okay.
And
Okay.
again, I don't see anything wrong with that. As long as one or the other is doing it and you reciprocate it, I'm happy.
Okay.
How
Yeah,
is it
that's that. Yeah,
for
that was my question. Yeah.
Yeah.
how is it for you guys, Mike and Audrey?
So what happened?
Hey, podcast is here.
No, it was my daughter.
I'm just
Like
kidding. I'm
me, I
kidding.
work super early, so I'm the first texting Mike most of the time. But
So,
if I wake up
so if
late,
you
I'll text him.
Wow, I
would
figured the other way.
would you expect him to text you first in case, like, let's say you forgot that you're stuck at work, you haven't texted him yet? Would you expect him to text you, or is he waiting
No,
for you for that text message?
no, because I know like sometimes he gets busy with his nephew, and I'm always at work. So if I see a text, I'll text him back. So I don't expect him to text me all the time. But it's like a
No.
mutual effort.
Mike?
Well, I use 90% of the time she'll text first because she does wake up before me. But if I don't see that text, then I'll say good morning. But it goes back to that, you set certain trends for within a relationship. Everybody has a trend. So sometimes when I
Right.
don't see that text in the morning, I'm like, oh fuck, what did I do now? That type that type mindset. So and that goes back to what Alex. Yeah, that's what goes back to what Alex was saying. Is like I'm an overthinker, and
Right.
so 90% of the time I'm thinking like, fuck, did I do something?
Yeah.
What do I do now? So I'll sit there and I'll text her like, good morning, like. But yeah, because sometimes she gets busy dropping her kids off in the morning, and she's getting ready, depending on
Right.
what she's doing. So um, it really, when you set a trend in that in a relationship, a lot of this relationship, we kind of fall back on that and we get used to it. So it becomes an expectation. And I know that's kind of wrong to say, but that's the reality of things.
Yeah.
Is you set certain expectations when you do certain things for long periods of time. So when you kind of change up your scenery and not do that, those small things. I always say, and I always tell Audrey, small things, that's what matters in a relationship. The small things that you do.
Mhm.
And if you stop doing those certain things, then yeah, it causes a lot of problems, especially when it comes to the communication aspect. Um, so the one thing I love about her is she's very open about a lot of things and she's very transparent. So she puts all those things I have to worry about to rest for like 90% of the time. I still, I'm a jealous person. Yes, and we all know that. Everybody's jealous to a certain extent. I don't want you shaking your head. You know I'm a jealous person, freaking Mosca. Uh,
No.
Little?
uh, but
He's like a little. Do
the
say
thing.
more, Mike.
But what I'm saying is I've been in long distance relationships where it wasn't transparent and there was a lack of communication, and it made things difficult for me because I am that guy that wants to be protective and wants to make sure that you get home on time, especially if you're out doing what you're not supposed to be doing. But you know what I'm saying? Like it's just. But this relationship, I never had that issue. Probably had a few hiccups here and there, but it was nothing, we couldn't get past. Um, but the communication is on point. Communication, she's very transparent. I'll be the first one to say we have access to each other's social medias and everything, and we're very open about our phones. You know, if I'm there, she can take my phone without a hesitation. Vice versa. So we created that type of environment where when we're together, we could trust each other, and then when we're apart, we still have that trust because we have that transparency on the communication aspect. So yeah, that's it's been pretty good when it comes to
Jess,
our long distance relationship.
how is it with you, Jess? Do you expect that good morning text? Because I know he wakes up earlier than you.
Anybody want some urine?
So he doesn't always wake up earlier than me, but I do expect like at least a good night text. He expects a video call every night. But I do go to bed earlier than most people. So,
Grandma.
eh. So the other night I did go to bed at like we video chatted at 8:20. I was asleep within 10 minutes. So he thought I was still up. So he was kind of like, "Why didn't you tell me good night?" I was like, "That's when I went to bed. Like I was done for the night." So it depends. Sometimes he's up earlier, he'll text me. Sometimes I'm up earlier, I'll text him. But I've been in long distance relationships before. So my ex-husband, he was 4 hours away from me. So I learned a lot through that experience before he moved to where I was at. We got married, and then with Malia's dad, he was in Kansas and I was in Texas. So that was they've all been different experiences with different expectations because every relationship is different. So,
Different.
Sure.
Okay.
but I love how they are so open and transparent and have each other's social medias and like I don't feel like I'm gonna go through somebody's phone because I feel like if you're making me feel like I should do that,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
so I
Like I would.
haven't went through
Yeah.
the phone and I'm not going to, but I mean he knows my password.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
won't.
wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do anything like that unless they gave me a reason to.
Yeah.
Even if you gave me a reason to, I wouldn't go through your phone.
But then if they're giving you that
It is what it
reason,
is.
there's clearly a lack of communication or secrecy there. So,
Yeah.
I wouldn't go through a phone either. I'd just pay somebody to hack it and then they'd give me the 411.
Hey, well,
I,
there's two
I,
people in here.
Paul,
I know
I
so I
someone
got a
to
that's
question on
open.
that. I got to do a question on it. Since you guys wouldn't go through it, is it out of fear of possibly finding something, or what is it?
Fuck.
Oh yeah, I just asked that question.
Um,
That's a great question, Mike.
Mm.
That is a
no,
great question.
for me,
so
for
I'm
me, I wouldn't. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
so I'm trying not to because I'm trying not to base this relationship off of my past relationships. We've already had some hiccups in this relationship, but I'm trying
Oh,
not to
okay.
I'm trying not to let what I've been through in the past
Mm-hmm.
bleed over into this too much. Like obviously,
After y'all answer this question, I have a question. I better write it down so I don't forget it.
Alex?
No, I already answered. I said I'll go through somebody's home.
No. Nick?
Um, I won't, simply for the fact that it's not that I fear finding something, but if there is something in there, I'd rather you just flat out came clean or just broke it off with me if there was something else that you were doing. You know what I mean? I don't need to I don't need to look for your phone to feel to feel some validation. You know what I mean? If I had a thought in my head that there was something going on, I don't really need to do that. Like, I mean, you're gonna whatever you're gonna do. I mean, you don't. It doesn't have. If you're gonna do something behind my back, it doesn't necessarily even have to be over the phone. It could be somebody. It could be somebody that you know in person that you see on a daily basis. Like, it doesn't even have to be on your phone. Like, there could be some sort of communication going on and not even be on a device.
Mhm.
So what's the point?
I
Like, if
think I'm
you're
a
gonna
little.
do something, I'd rather you just tell. I'd rather just a person come clean about it and be like, yeah, hey, look, you know what? Yada yada yada. This person's caught my attention, or whatever the fucking case is. You know what I mean? Like, just be honest with
But
me.
realistically, most people don't do that. So had I
Mm-mm.
not looked at my ex's phone, I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have
Yeah.
seen those
Exactly.
pictures and videos and messages. Like, as bad as it hurt, it sucked.
Because there's a
But it
high
also
to
let
it.
me know, like,
There's a high to doing things. There is a high. There is a release of chemicals to doing something that you know is not ethically correct and getting away with it. There is a high, and people become addicted to that high.
Yeah.
That rush.
I
That's
think
how you
what
get assholes.
Yeah, I think what it is some people been through all that shit, right? I've been through all that shit where freaking my exes were doing crazy shit behind my back, and it was right under my nose, and I didn't realize until the last minute. I'm at that age. I don't want to waste my fucking time. Me, and Audrey had this conversation all the fucking. That's why we're so transparent with everything, because I don't want to. I'm 38 now. I'm not want to fucking waste the good years of my life with somebody that wasn't true to me. And I'm not going to sit there and waste 4 or 5 years finding out that there's a possibility she might be doing something behind my back. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
That's why we're transparent the way we are, because Adriana's been through some shit too. I've been through some shit. So we're fucking put everything out on the table, and we have access to everything. It's not because we're using our past experience to punish each other. It's we're protecting each other by, like, look it. I want to let you know that I'm gonna be open and transparent 110%, so I'm not doing anything wrong, because I know what it feels like.
Mhm.
If I could provide that type of environment for you, yeah, are we gonna have hiccups, but not major shit? Me and her had conversations about certain things that happened in the beginning of our relationship. But at the end of the day, that's how we learn, and how we progress by fixing those things. And
Right.
you know, if the day I say, "Hey, Adriana, let me see your phone," and she says no, that's a fucking red flag for me, because that tells me she's hiding something. If we see each other naked on a day-to-day basis, what privacy do you have? You know,
It's
That's what
true.
I'm saying. Like, if I seen you in your most privacy, what privacy do you need to keep? Now, I understand there's conversations you have with your family and stuff like that, but other than that, what's the point?
Yeah.
Because I know if I kept my phone for her, she'd be like, "Oh, hell no, freaking why? What are you hiding?" And I don't want to deal with that shit. So that's why I'm very open about it. Because if I,
Starts calling her connections.
oh fuck
Hey,
yeah, I
hey,
call
I
her
seen you
connections.
naked and you don't give me passwords and shit like that.
That's not true. Don't be.
oh,
We slept together. Come on.
Yeah,
Same room and
we're in
everything.
different
Oh
beds.
shit.
All right, you're in your own bed.
this
Relax.
coffee is good.
Hey,
And
Not
I
in
we,
the
have
not
proof.
not in the pictures I seen.
Yeah, I
yeah,
saw the pictures, bro. I saw the pictures.
Oh,
Wow.
Saw
it's okay,
pictures.
babe. It's okay, babe.
There was no little spoon and no big spoon in those pictures, bro.
No.
Yeah.
That shit was staged. It was staged.
It's
Even the
okay.
grabbing of the ass?
It was before you. It's okay.
Oh.
It's for
Or their lack of.
Or the grabbing of set
Uh,
peck?
but look at all jokes aside, like, everybody does it differently. Everybody
Yeah.
has different boundaries. Everybody has different expectation when it comes to long distance relationship and what they expect.
right.
Uh, and people said it a couple times on this live or on this podcast, is communication is key. That you start that from the beginning, and then as long as you have good proper communication, and your partner understands what your expectations and your boundaries are, then you guys should be set. I definitely had a conversation with Alex. You're talking about how we as men were protectors. We just want to know when you're home. How many times I had that conversation, babe? Every time you go out, I'm like, hey, as long as you text me, I'm good. There's a couple times she didn't fucking text me, and I was worried all fucking night. I didn't
Yep.
sleep, and the
Yep.
next morning, I'm like pissed off. I'm like, yo, you're supposed to text me when you got home. I'm sorry. No, it's like I said, it's a small shit that matters to me,
Right.
and I can't be there to protect her, so therefore I expect her to act a certain way when it comes to if she goes out drinking or doing whatever she did. As long as you text me and you tell me what you're doing, I'm fine with that shit. Uh,
So I'll say this, bro. As being married, When Annie has to travel for work or when I have to travel for business, it is the same shit. She wants to know when I land. She wants to know when I board. She wants to know when I make it to the hotel. And same with me. Whenever she travels, if she has to drive, I want to know. And I'll be like, babe, did you take the 38 with you?
The 38.
Did you forget the 38? You know, so it's because I'm not there to be there to protect her if anything happens. And I
Yeah.
know that a lot of women can protect themselves. You know, that's not it. Like men want peace. We want you to be our peace. We already have to go to war every day to bring in the shit that we have to bring into the house, man. Like we want peace, and that is a part of a lot of men's peace.
Yeah.
We don't want to
Yep.
know the game plan. We don't want to know the strat. No, let me know when you're there. Let me know when you're safe.
Yep.
So
You
let
know,
me so
we need that.
let me ask you this. So even if she didn't ask you that stuff, you'd probably go ahead and tell her anyway, huh?
Sometimes it really depends because you know you do get busy.
No, no,
Like
no.
I'm
Yeah, of course, of course. You're like I said, you're working or whatever. Or if you're going somewhere with friends or something like that, you do get busy. You know what I mean? And they might send you a message and be like, "Hey, everything okay?
To make it.
You make it? Oh shit, yeah." And then you say, "Hey, my bad. We just got caught up or whatever." You know what I mean? Plenty of times, but then you'll get some people that'll be like, "Oh, what are you really doing? Fuck, fucking all these bitches."
Mato, you have a question that you wrote down?
no, so I mean pretty much like so with Annie, we know all of our information, all the logins. Like we have a sheet, bro. We have a sheet for all the logins. That way, if anything ever happens, we have access to each other's things. You know, at what point in the relationship do you feel? I'll say, I'll say it's a gift because you have to earn something like that, right?
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I'll say it's a gift. At what point in the relationship do you feel the gift should be offered of, hey, I want you to have access to my things. That way, you know, there's access. I know comparison. You said it earlier. Just comparison is the thief of all dreams, and it destroys a lot of things. So comparing your old relationship, new relationship, but at some point we submit to our partner and we say, "Hey, here's my login information just in case."
I think the only person that has my login information is I think I might have sent it to my sister just in case. Just in case something were to happen to me. She they'd because I mean they'd give my personal belongings obviously to my immediate family, you know what I mean? Like like the way my life insurance and shit and all that like all that stuff is set up is where it goes to my kids obviously, but it since my kids are so young, it goes to their like it's broken up and goes to their moms. But yeah, I think my sister's the only one that has like my login information, and it's not like she's going and logging into my shit anyway. You know what I mean? And like that's like vital stuff, like all of my bank account information, like my bank account logins. Like she's even on them too, so that way, I mean, well, her and my mom are on them actually, just in case, something were to happen. But I'll never put somebody else on my information.
Mike and Audrey, how long did it take you guys to um, have the
Share
nerve to
information.
switch passwords?
Not long. I would say like 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Oh
Damn.
Yeah,
shit!
it was in that first month. The
Three
first month.
weeks.
Yeah, it was in that first month.
Wow.
Because I know he's an
Okay.
overthinker, so I just want him to feel secure.
She's a smart
Good
one.
answer.
She's a fucking smart one.
Well, you guys are on the same page though, so it's perfect. You know what I mean? He was
He,
cool with it, you're cool with it, so it's like it leaves out that small portion of doubt that always is
Mm.
in somebody's
The what
mind
if?
in a long distance relationship.
Do you guys feel that you did that because you saw a future together?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
I think most people might frown upon that idea of what we're doing when it comes to how transparent we are. And don't get me wrong, I get a lot of negative feedback about, oh, it's just insecurity and blah blah. But I was like, it's not insecurity. It's not. And I told Adriana this, and I told quite a few people this. It's not. It's not comparing. I'm not comparing you to my exes or anything, because at the end of the day, we all have brains and we learn patterns. You know, we think here, and most guys, we're logical thinkers, right? We don't think with our feelings. We think with logic. And I'm not saying not all women do that, but there's a lot of women that do that too. But most women will think with their feelings. Uh, so it's not so much comparing past relationships. It's you experience. It's called experience. You're learning trends. You're learning experience, and blah blah blah. And so when you go into a new relationship, you don't want those same things to repeat. And I think that's what comes to the proper communication and beginning of relationships. Like, hey, because Adriana, she told me, she was like, hey, this is the shit I went through, and this stuff that I won't tolerate. And I said the same thing. Hey, this is shit I went through, and this is shit I won't tolerate. How do we mitigate this? Being
So, so,
transparent.
so I have a
Yep.
question for everybody that has given their information to somebody. Do you set a boundary with it, or are they allowed to respond to people and say, "Hey, or how do you guys take care of that?"
I mean, there's no privacy.
Yeah.
So if he wants to block people, which he has done,
I've blocked
I
a lot
mean,
of
why
people.
would I get mad, you know? If that makes him feel better, I'm okay with it.
And look at, I'm not the one that blocks people. This one does too. So it goes both ways. I don't know. If I tell her all the time, like if I see like certain guys dropping comments and stuff, like they give her compliments, she's a beautiful woman. So of course, there's gonna be guys that say certain things, but if they get to a point where, and we had this conversation the other day, and she made a post on IG, and it was like perfect because a lot of the guys will sit there and like pictures of her and don't like pictures of me or her in it, and then they'll sit there
Yup.
DM. But there will be some guys that will sit there, and like I said, if there's like one and done comments, that means they don't bother. Hey, you're beautiful. You know, I just want to let you know that I know you got a man, but I just want to let you know you're beautiful. I have no problem with that. But if I go into that chat and then I see fucking hey beautiful, hey gorgeous, blah blah blah, and they trying to get her attention, I'm like, dude, you're blocked because you're obviously not understanding. Uh, and I tell her that. I was like, so it's those guys who are very persistent, they don't give a shit and they don't respect our relationship. Those guys get blocked. But if it's the guys that like, well, hey, you know what, you're beautiful, and that's it, I don't have a problem with that shit. But guys don't give a shit. If you're listening, ladies out there, guys don't give a shit if you're in a relationship or not. Because what happens is, especially in a long distance relationship, guys want what they can't have. And it's easier for them to compete with one guy versus I'm gonna go on a dating scene and compete with every single guy for that one chick. If that
Facts.
chick is in a relationship, and especially if she's in a long distance relationship, oh, she's the easy target. She's acceptable to making dumb decisions. Vice versa, some women will do the same thing and choose to chase that one guy that's in a relationship,
Yep.
versus I got to chase all that one guy that all these girls are chasing. Fuck that. So, yeah, being in a long distance relationship when it comes to that aspect, it comes with that territory. Like
Yeah.
you're very, so every single day there's a whole bunch of guys are in DMs or trying to get with her or like, hey, you know, there's a couple guys that call me ugly. Like, why you with that guy? I could provide so much better, or you know, it. You name it, I read it. You know what I'm saying? So it does become a task in itself to protect this relationship. And I even told her, I was like, sometimes it's overwhelming that I have to protect the relationship on my end and on her end.
Yeah.
And the good part is we're very transparent, and she blocks people on my end, and I block people on her end. And it is what it is. Whatever we have to do to protect the relationship, that's what we're going to have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, and most
But it
people,
goes
go ahead,
it
sorry.
it, go, it goes both ways. Like
Yeah.
you said, there's a lot of guys out there that are gonna try to contact her, and you have the proof. You've seen it, right?
Yeah,
But the big thing I always said was she hasn't given you a reason to not trust her, right? It's the day she starts entertaining those men that hit her up is the day that you need to worry, right? And that's not I'm not just saying Audrey. I'm saying any woman
In
that's in a
general.
relationship in general. You know, the day that's what I told my ex is like the day you start entertaining these people is the day that I'm out because then I'm no longer your priority. You are already looking for the next one by entertaining those men.
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Absolutely.
So,
So I think Jess
Jess,
was going
when
to
are you
say
gonna
something
give
else.
your passwords over?
I mean,
How long is it gonna
so
take for you to?
he knows the password to my phone. And everything, once you unlock my phone, it's all open. I don't think he's went through my phone when I'm sleeping, because I'm a very hard sleeper. I'll sleep through anything. But
Same.
I mean, if he wanted them, he can have them. I don't really talk to anybody. I mostly send stupid videos, like spam people with stupid videos.
Hmm.
And I
I
don't
got
use I guess would it be third party apps? I don't even know what to call it. Like I have Snapchat, but I haven't checked it in a couple weeks. Oh, well, it's been over 4 weeks because Jess G messaged me and I never read it. So I don't check Snapchat. I do have it though. I'm not in
yeah.
any group chats I shouldn't be in on Snap. Um, and I don't use any of the other apps for messaging. So it's literally just text messages. And then I have Messenger for Facebook. I don't do, like, there's no hidden app. Like with my ex, I was trying to do math and I was using his phone on a calculator and it
Oh
wasn't coming out right. And
no.
I'm like, this is not the right number. Like, I'm not a math genius or anything, but I'm like, this isn't
Know that
right.
app.
It was, yeah, it's where he hid all his pictures and videos that he was
It's a
uploading on
fake
Dad's Gone
calculator.
Wild. And it
Wow.
had so much in it. And I didn't know, first of all, I didn't even know that was a thing. So that was a whole learning experience. But
I had no
but
idea
I knew
about
the
that
math
shit.
wasn't right.
What
I was
is
like,
I
it?
knew I
So
knew about that one.
there's an
I knew
app
about it.
out there. I think it's
it's
I don't think
called
it's
the calculator. So the
but
envelope
you
for on your home screen looks like a calculator.
but you put
Yeah.
your
But
you put your code in and it
the
opens up a
code
file.
and then the like whatever percent and then whatever symbol you choose after the number and it
Yep.
opens all your hidden albums. So with my ex, I
Shit, I'm about
learned
to download that
a
right now.
lot about that because I had no idea.
Oh man. I
So
don't
where
know.
he
Too
Yeah.
much
tripped
work.
up was his iPad also that he started hiding his iPad between the mattresses on the bed. And I'm like, I didn't even know he was hiding it there. I was making the bed one day and tucking the sheet. And I was like, what? So even though he deleted stuff on his phone, it was still on
The iPad.
the iPad. So I would definitely give my passwords. I don't care.
I can tell
People
you
are
what.
wild. People are wild.
Yeah, the only thing that's hidden on my phone is pictures, between me and my girl.
I
Because
swear
my
to God,
kid,
I thought he was gonna say him in Mosca.
no, 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 no,
I even raised my hand. I was
no.
like,
So
me
my
and you.
daughter tends to go through my phone for like the games and shit. So there's pictures that I hide on purpose. So
Well, yeah.
but she knows my password, so that's the
Yeah.
one thing. Other than that, everything else is open book. But I understand what you're doing because one of my exes had the same fucking thing. I was sitting there, did the same thing. I was like, "Ah, fuck, my phone's dead. Hey, let me see your phone." And then I went to the calculator and that shit wasn't working. And I was like,
Yep. The math ain't mathin'.
no. But, but literally, what I did, I was like, I'm gonna put her fucking birthday in this because this shit don't right. So I put her birthday in it.
Yep.
Fucking thing popped up. I was like, this is not what I think it was. And I looked through it and I was like, she had
Yep.
pictures of her exes and all kinds of shit in it. And I was like,
Like I'm scarred. I'm scarred.
you're,
Damn.
you're like typing it in. You're like, why are all the answers coming up as 69? What the fuck is this? Fucking
Pretty
what?
much. Oh.
So, Alex, would you exchange your passwords with your new
Yeah, I
partner
have.
or future
I have
partner?
the own. I already have in the past. I have no issues. I don't hide anything. Like my shit is dry as fuck. The only thing though is that because I use my phone for work, and I'm a government employee, they require me to put a passcode like to open the phone, and I hate that shit, but you have to. Now that I won't give. You want to see my phone? I'll open it up for you, and then you can look for it, through it.
Yeah.
But that's the only reason. Other than that, I don't hide shit. Like my shit is dry as fuck.
Yeah, that's pretty understandable. Like you know, with having to have the credentials you have or whatever, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You can't
You they don't give you a government phone?
No.
So I think with your passcodes for work, that is privacy. There's a difference in privacy for work and then secrecy. Secrecy
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
where you are hiding stuff in the calculator.
Exactly. Exactly.
I do have private stuff on my phone though, that stuff that it's meant for me.
Yeah.
Like and
Mike.
Is there
and
pictures of
if
Mosca in there?
I was about to say the
no,
same
no, no.
thing.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't keep any pictures like that on my phone because my kids go on my phone. My kids play on my phone. So I have zero pictures like that in my phone.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't need them anyway. You know what I mean? I don't need pictures like that. Um, my
We
kids
snap
go
each
to
other.
my kids go to my kids go to my photo album, or they'll go to whatever, and they'll be going through like just everything. So I don't have anything on my phone, and my kids are old enough to understand some of my kids are old enough to understand what the fuck is going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So, um, yeah, no, I don't have none of that shit on my phone.
So I have my hidden pictures, which is stuff I don't want my kids or anybody else to see. Well, I guess he did, but I just have a different password for the hidden folder. So it's literally just pictures, but it's my birthday instead of the same passcode for my phone.
Not them
No,
listening.
yeah,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
when's
My
your
son's
birthday?
in the living room right now playing a game.
They're all taking notes and shit. Like,
But my
Mom's.
ex-husband does have the password to my phone still. I haven't changed it. It's been the year I was born forever because I don't have anything to hide. And that is because if something happens to me, it eventually will. He's going to need, there's different bank accounts on there. He's going to need access to the money for our kids until life insurance comes in. Like
oh,
there's
yeah.
things he'll need. And then if he goes through everything else,
oh. Babe, I'm just let you
Well,
know if something happens to me, you have the passwords to all my shit. So just delete
Got it.
stuff. You know what
Got
I'm
it,
saying?
babe.
Not
Oh,
you.
her.
Talking to my
My bad.
girl
Sorry. Sorry.
because she
Hey,
has access to
hey,
everything.
why did Mike just sound like those guys from the movie when they're about to die and they're like, make sure you delete my history?
hmm
Make sure you delete my browser history.
I'm okay with my phone. Just burn my suitcase.
Oh, shit.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I delete my history every night before I go to sleep.
Like clockwork, bro.
And like I said, my mom and my sister are gonna get my phone. So
Yo, you guys don't have an
I
incognito? Just go
oh
incognito.
my mom
Bro.
already knows. My mom already knows what kind of
Guilty.
son she has, but so you don't need to see it.
But I tell you what, when it comes to those type of pictures, I think that's very important to have that type of content in a long distance relationship
it yes.
because at the end of the
Oh
day,
yeah.
we're all adults, right? So freaking, I tell Audrey all the time, I was like, "Yo, send me a picture so I
Oh,
can
Mike
use
just
it,
fell. Hey,
so
Oh.
it keeps me
so check
away
this
from."
out. So
Wrong button.
so times have changed, man. Times have really changed. Like back in the day, if you wanted to do the deed through a phone call, you do it through a phone call, right?
Yeah.
hmm
Now you motherfuckers got FaceTime.
What do you mean? Oh, you mean an audio call? It was just listening.
Yeah,
hmm
like
Now you have the
what do
video
you got
chat.
on? What do you got on? Now you can see what people have on.
Hey,
You know
babe,
what
you
I'm saying?
ready for this?
Yes. There you go.
Mosca's like, I'm gonna braid my 3 chest hairs.
Hmm.
Hey, I shaved.
She
He
only
saw
has
three.
two. We're
I
leaving,
thought
leave
I
him
had
alone.
one.
It
Mike, your
was only
camera's
one
off, bro.
yesterday.
Is it just me or is Mike's camera off?
Yeah, your camera's off.
I'm sorry, my phone
Hmm.
reset it.
No,
No,
you're
but
good.
like I
He's not
said,
in. You're gonna have to
So,
reset your thing
I just resetted
because
it.
you're not in.
I see everybody now.
I see
Yes,
him.
I see him.
Yeah,
No, you guys
I
see
see him.
him. I don't. Not where it's important.
And then
Wow.
back in the day, it was the pixelated pictures where you look at it and it still leaves a sense of imagination. Now
Yeah,
everything just is there. You can see you can
high
see like
def 4K
you can see all
quality.
the little pelitos that are growing back. And
You're like, hey, that's a great picture, but did you see that you missed a spot when you were shaving right there?
you got one booty hole hair left.
Yeah.
Oh, there you
Wait,
are.
what's going on right there?
No, no.
Okay, that's enough of that for me.
So Mike and Andre, obviously, long distance works.
Yes, it does.
Well,
100%.
long distance is a prerequisite of what to expect to go into an actual relationship. No one wants to be in a long distance relationship for like their whole relationship. So
Right.
eventually, when you get in a relationship that's long distance, you have the expectations like one day we're going to be together. That's
Yep.
that's the so eventually, well, since November we made things official. Uh, I always had that expectation like I eventually I'm going to move over there or we're going to compromise, move somewhere. It's going to be a lot easier. But she has her family there, so that's why I'm moving there at the end of this month.
Yeah.
Freaking, 'cause that was the goal.
Wait, what?
At the end of
Wait,
this
yeah, hold
month?
hold
Hold
hold on,
on.
hold on, hold on, hold on.
You're moving at the end of
Yeah,
this month to
yeah.
Texas?
Wait, is this
Yep.
your 6 month like anniversary thing? So at 6 months y'all are moving in together?
Yep.
Yeah,
Bum,
don't
bum,
fucking be all quiet all of a
bum.
fucking sudden.
No, I love that for you guys. I
No
do.
bullshit.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're
But
wrong.
he said at the end of summer.
Yeah.
I
No.
so
Oh, how the
He changed his
tables have
mind.
turned.
okay. Summer is what 3 months long. There's a 3 months difference. Wow, you
The
guys want
end
to
of
get
the end of summer is August. Okay, that's the end of summer. It's the end of
yeah.
summer is August. The end of summer for me is still when school starts again. All right.
Not me doing all the months in my head right now.
Hey,
I'm like,
June, July, oh, August, yeah.
hey,
That's fine. That's like 4 months away. That's 5 months, pretty much, if you want to say it.
no, it's just it's the time is right. If that makes sense.
I'm just
The
giving you shit.
time is
I'm just
right.
giving you shit. I'm just giving you
I
shit.
love
There's
that for you guys.
I'm not.
there's a
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So do I.
there's
Fucking
a lot
pissed.
of factors that go into why I'm moving over there. One, she has her kids there. Two, her oldest son is leaving, and he's like the main protector in the house. And he's leaving to the Air Force. Very proud of him. Right?
Hey!
All right.
So, um,
Air Force all day,
go
baby.
Marines! No, but there's a lot of factors, and then of course, in our relationship, we're gaining a lot of you know qualities in that relationship, right?
Yeah,
So, um, to be that protector, I need to be there. And it's a lot easier for me because I'm retired. I don't have anything that's holding me back to where my kids are in Florida and my oldest son's in Houston. So me moving over there is not only being with her, but it's adding a lot of
Closer.
value to my life by
absolutely.
being close to my oldest son, by being a protector for her, and then of course it makes it a lot easier for my kids to fly to Texas than fly across country from Florida.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
I
Uh,
have a question for everybody.
Hold on,
Being
bud.
in a being in a
Hold on.
relationship that's long distance, how important is it for you to build a relationship not just with the person that you're going to be with, but their family before actually taking that kind of step?
Well, damn. When the way I see it is when you get into a relationship and they have, if they have kids, I don't see any issue with having kids, right? But if I'm entering a relationship with that person and they have kids, those kids are an extension of her.
Mhm.
So you got to treat them, the same, if not
It's
better
your
than you
kids.
do her, right? Now her family, her parents, siblings, whatever. Yeah, I'll be, respectful, but they're not involved in the relationship.
Yeah, I
They don't.
meant I
They
meant I meant the offsprings.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah,
should have been more clear. Sorry,
yeah, yeah.
guys.
So no, if she has kids, they're gonna get the golden treatment, right? Like I said, they're an extension of her and who she is and the type of person that she is. So if I'm treating her this way, they're gonna get it 10 times better, and hopefully that'll show her like I'm serious about this. I can see myself with you, for the long run. I'm not going anywhere. If I'm in your life, your kids are in my life. I might not be their father, but I'll still be here to help protect them. And I'm not there to replace their dad if their dad is in their life, right? And there's a good relationship, between them. I'm not there to replace their father, and I never will. But I can be a friend to them. I can help guide them if they need it, or if she asks for advice, I'll give it. But other than that, no. They're an extension of her, so they're gonna get the golden treatment 100% every time.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we go with Jess and then leave the couple in here for last?
I agree with Alex, actually. I love Chris's kids. He's got good kids. They'll be here this summer. And then my kids are going with me up there this summer. So I think it's important to have that, like, try to
Fun.
blend the family, kind of. But yeah,
Okay.
I don't know if my
Definitely
son's going
important.
because he's 18. So he has the attitude like he don't need to say that. He's grown. So I don't
Right.
know if he's going, but
Hold on, Papa.
All right, Mike, Audrey.
Oh, this is gonna be
Good.
good.
I mean, I don't mind as long as you create that bond between his kids or him, vice versa, and there's a respect. There shouldn't be no issues. I mean, his kids are good, so I'm like, ah, the baby Jesus.
that's a huge relief when their kids aren't little assholes.
Bad, yeah.
Right?
Oh my God. No, no, I agree with that because kids can make and break a relationship.
It is hard,
You
yeah.
know, uh,
Absolutely.
Audrey's kids are freaking. They're awesome. They're night and day compared to some of the people I dealt with in the past. I've dealt. I hate. It's experience, right? I'm not comparing, but experience. I was in a relationship where the son made my life a living hell. Like every single day, he made my son, and he did it with a purpose.
Hmm.
He was like, "You're not gonna last long." That's what he told me when I first
Oh
met him.
shit.
And but he literally made my life a living hell, and it is what it is. So, of course, when I got with Adriana, and I was like worried about that, I was like the expectation. I'm like, "Fuck, man, not these kids are gonna probably be the same way." But when I met them, they're a complete opposite. They were very respectful. They listened to their mother. They never argue with her. Yeah, uh, baby girl, she gets a little sassy sometimes, but you know, she raised them in such a way that they respect other people. And I can't ask for anything more.
Shh.
That's what I look for. And be honest with you guys, that's how I judge. That's one of the red flags. How I judge a person about how their kids treat other people.
Yep.
It doesn't matter how young or how old they are. If they come at you respectfully, and you're like, damn, they got good values. They got good foundation. They were raised right. Um,
So,
so yeah, that's one of the things I look for. It's how your kids are and how they act.
did y'all discuss different parenting? Because I know Chris parents way different than I do. I love
Mm.
his kids and his daughter-in-law and his grandson, but his parenting style is way different than mine. Did y'all talk about what y'all expect or how y'all want it to be when y'all start blending your family? at the end of the month.
Yeah.
I mean,
Go
I
ahead, babe.
guess we
He
have
had
like
to
the
throw that
same
in there.
rules. Like my kids
Go ahead, babe.
clean, his kids clean. So we're basically kind of the same, but not the same. I'm more strict than him, so
Oh, okay.
I think.
We had this conversation within this last week, and we talked about like certain expectations I have. Like, if the kids disrespect her, then I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to take a step back. But if they gets too, it crosses a point, then yeah, I'm gonna have to step in and like, hey, respect your mother type deal. But I don't think I have to do that with her kids. Um, with the cleaning stuff, I'm very OCD-ish. My kids are very when they're with me, I was like, hey, go do this, and they do it without arguments. Maybe with their mother is a little different. But my kids know the expectation because I raised them a certain way. I was the disciplinary one for the longest, so my kids know that they can't get away with certain things, and they know to clean up after themselves. They know to do their own dishes. They know to do all that stuff, right? And we have kind of like a similar mindset, so it's an easy transition.
Right.
Uh, I already know that like my OCD ish, my way of doing things is slightly different from her, but we talked about that. And how many times like when I went over there, literally I cleaned her kid's room. Like the first time I was there, I cleaned her kid's room. I was like, and then her in her mindset, she's like, clean your room, but then she'll just glance in there, but she won't look under the bed or in the closet or behind a thing where they stuff everything. And I'm finding all this shit, and I don't complain about it. I just like, hey, you know, um, that's just the type of guy I am. Like,
The
I won't
military
complain.
in you.
Yeah, I will. I'll be like, hey, look, I clean your room, try to keep it clean. But it's really up to her. She holds down that she's the main force factor in that. Those are her kids. I've been in relationships where the opposition or the partner wouldn't be on the same level, and those kids took advantage of that. Adriana, she's on top of that shit. I remember the first time I cleaned the rooms, the first thing she was like, hey, Mike cleaned your room, try to keep it clean. And I'm like, oh, okay, I like that. Uh, it's like I said, it's refreshing to be with the type of person who has that mindset, especially in a long distance relationship.
I agree.
I love
Sweet.
that for
Yep.
you guys.
Now I need to make space in my closet.
Oh God. Yeah, you guys don't want to see her closet. That shit's like,
I have 4 closets. I can't judge her
Can't do it.
because it's just me. Nobody lives here, so I have the his and hers. Then I have the guest room, and then I have another closet.
I I literally I literally was like, you know what? I cleaned out her kids' room. I was like, I clean her room too, right? But I was like, let me reorganize her closet color coordinated. I opened that shit and I was like,
Fuck.
fuck that. I was like, I color coordinated shit. I reorganized her shoe boxes on
I'm
the
on the
right side. I
phone.
was like, I'm done. Like that was
Fuck out of here, dude.
no.
So you guys see right here? This is my little area right here, from here to here. That's Annie. That's Annie.
Damn, why are you
Yo,
in the middle?
That's still not a
damn,
lot.
those
I
hangers
got.
are giving me aneurysms. Different colors.
Dif-
Different colors.
different colors.
Pink, blue, white, green, yellow. Pink, blue, white,
Yeah,
green.
we do it that way to throw people off if they ever come
Yeah.
in here.
My hangers are all black and white. That's it.
Yeah, mine are
Mine are all
black.
black and white.
Yeah.
He looks like, he's like, wait, what?
Well, on that note, obviously we talked about long distance relationships and it does work. For those of you that believe that doesn't work, fix your standards, fix your issues, fix your fucking
Communicate.
life, communicate, do all that shit. Because obviously you ain't doing it right. We have 2 amazing couples in here that are doing it right. Um, any final thoughts from our guests? Audrey, we'll start with you.
The what?
Any final thoughts?
I mean, just be on the same page. Communication is key. Don't hide anything, because whatever you hide is going to come up to the light.
All
Hmm.
right. Alex?
Quick, simple messages for anybody out there that thinks their long distance doesn't work. In my personal opinion, I find that as being narrow minded because you have to think of it this way with so many people in the world, how do you expect to find the person you're meant to be with in the same state, let alone the same city as you? The chances of that happening are almost none. Now, if it does, that's great. Happy for you people out there. That's awesome. But get out there, travel, meet people. For all you know, the person you're supposed to be with is Germany, Japan, somewhere out there. You never know. Cross country, New York, whatever. Don't see life so small. Expand your horizons and go out there looking for enjoyment in life and let it come to you. And that's going to make you the happiest version of yourself.
And Jess.
Nice, nice, nice.
It's possible for long distance relationships to work. I think it gives you more of a sense of becoming friends and communicating better than depending on that physical aspect. Like if you date somebody close by, you get that like needy, like physical being
Hmm.
apart. I think for me is better. It is challenging, but it's better because it makes you get to know that person on a different level instead of just being physical every time you see them.
Sweet. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're out. Peace.
Bye.
Deuces.